The Blackhawks lose to the Kraken 3-1 in Seattle, and we are annoyed. Come be annoyed with us on the CHGO Blackhawks Postgame Show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Welcome into the postgame show. I'm Jay Zawaski. That's Mario Tirabassi. Sarah Fichter's here with us. It's late night hockey. Do us a favor. Hit that like button for us. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. Before we get into anything, I'm going to start the show by saying the Blackhawks deserve to win this game. They were the better team.
Hot take.
They were in control for the vast majority of it.
Yeah.
However, okay, so now that has been stated, as the Blackhawks have raised expectations for us with the way they've played, with the way they've talked, with the way they've competed, it is time to start rejecting moral victories and saying, well, shucks, they just got goalied again. And it's time to start dissecting what they can do to start converting some of these good performances into 2 points.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to the point now where it has to start happening. They've got 1 point in their last 3 games. And if we're talking about being competitive into the new year, these are the ones you cannot lose.
What is it about the Seattle Kraken?
Well, they're boring as hell. They're trying to be the Predators.
It's every time that the Blackhawks have played the Seattle Kraken, I have the same exact thought. This should be a good game. This should be a game the Blackhawks can be competitive. This might be a game they win. And I think I heard the stat right. They're 1-5-1 against the Kraken.
Yeah.
Since the inception of the Kraken? I mean,
they have basically sucked ass since the inception of the Kraken, though, too, so it's kind of hard to, like...
Yeah, but the Kraken are nothing to write home about either. Yeah. Like, it just... Every time that this team plays the Kraken, I get frustrated because the games always feel like Hawks are in it, and for one reason or another, they come out on the wrong end of it.
Yeah.
And this was another one of those games. And coming into this game, looking at the analytics of the two teams, records were pretty similar.
Yep.
And I just felt the way that the Blackhawks have been playing this year, this would be a game where at 5-on-5, Blackhawks have been playing better than Seattle. The Blackhawks power play has been pretty decent. Seattle Kraken's penalty kill pretty bad. Like, it just felt like the aspects on paper favored the Blackhawks. And throughout the game, analytically and on paper, it favored the Blackhawks, except in the most important category, which is goals.
And that's what matters.
And
that's how the games are won.
And I'm just like, I agree. Last few seasons, you say, you know what? They played a really good game. Joey Decord, hats off to you. You had an awesome game. Blackhawks were expected to score 4 goals in this game, and they got 1. Like, hats off to you.
Yep.
And that still is true. But it doesn't mean that I'm not friggin' frustrated with how this game went and how they've been playing. And I think we have to start looking at the minor details of the game and what makes differences. And I think tonight the start to the game was slow. It took you a while to get your engines going, but you got it going in the second period. But you're outscored 2-0 in the second period.
Right.
So it's against these teams and on these road trips that you have to be able to learn about professional hockey. Is you have to dig in. Jeff Blashill has said it I think the team gets it, but it's one of those aspects of it's an every night league. It's an everyday league. You have to show up every day, whether it's practice, morning skate, games, night in, night out, 6-game road trip. Like you gotta be up for it every night. And this was a game that felt like you needed to come off of the momentum you were building in the Edmonton game and come up against a team that you probably should have beat and have that momentum and get a fast first period. You didn't have a fast first period. You had a better second period, but again, you get outscored 2-0 in it.
Yep.
You have to, the power play, you had a lot of great puck movement on it, and it just felt like there were chances passed up. Puck possession was iffy at times. Passing wasn't crisp. And, you know, as much as we've given guys like Sam Rinzel a little bit of leash, that third goal, man, like a great offensive shift, created a lot, weaving in and out, like a lot of great individual effort offensively. Puck goes the other way, and he's beat, flat-footed, 2-on-1. Everly buries it, and that's the that ends it. That was it, and it just it's a stinker. It's a stinker of a game that you can pull some good things out of, but I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm not feeling there's some good this was a game you should have won, and I'm upset that they didn't.
We'll get to some of the good things, but those are small details for the last segment of the show. Like, it took you 5 minutes to get your first shot on goal. Yeah. And this game rubbed me as kind of what you said, like, oh, well, we played good against Edmonton. We probably deserved to win that one, so Seattle's not as good as Edmonton, so we're just going to show up, roll out the pucks, and recreate for 60 minutes and skate away with 2 easy points. So it takes you half the first period to really get your legs under you. They do. End the period even in shots, 10-10. They dominate the second, but get outscored 2-0, as you said. This game, if we had $1 for every net they missed, because they're looking for the perfect redirect, or they're skating into the zone, but then they peel off and they're trying to drop it back to the point, and they're trying to look for – it's like, guys, you're not that good. You're not that good yet where you can globe-trot your way. And look, we used to complain about this, about the Taves and Kane Dynasty Hawks would do this some nights. Like, just stop. Play the simple game. And they refuse to do it. Sam Rinzel, who you mentioned, twice tried, I'm going to shoot a puck wide of the net on purpose, hoping for a tip. Enough of that. Put it on net and let your guys get a rebound. What are the odds of shooting the puck 3 feet wide on purpose that it just might hit a stick in front? It might do that if you put it on net too. Yeah. There were so many little things that were driving me crazy in this game. And to me, I hope that of all the games they've played this year, despite whatever you want to say, deserve to win-o-meter, metrics, all that. Yes, they were the better team. But I hope Jeff Blashill takes this and says, this is a lesson to you, that you're not that good yet. Yeah. You're not at the point yet where you can just show up and win games against teams you deem lesser than you. Because right now, if you look at the NHL standings, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams worse than the Hawks. Nashville, Minnesota, San Jose, St. Louis, and Calgary. That's it. The Hawks have the 27th best record in the NHL right now. That's not a team that can show up on a Monday night in Seattle and be like, we got this. We got them. They're toast. They're cooked. Look at us. Look how we hung with the Oilers. We got a point in Edmonton. Look at us. No, you are not there yet. Yeah. And I hope that's the lesson this team takes away. The other thing is I qualified to start the show that, yes, they deserve to win this game, but can Arvid Söderblom make one clutch save? Yeah, it was a 2-on-1, and Nazar and Rinzel kind of butchered that play. Yeah, that third goal.
I will say it wasn't all Rinzel's fault. Nazar also a rough game for him.
Those things happen. The difference between a career backup and an NHL starter is we are down 2-1. We are fighting to get back in this game. We just scored a goal. We have all the momentum again. I need to stop this puck. Yeah. I need to find a way. Yes, it was a 2-on-1. He came way out of the crease to challenge it. There was no pass made. It wasn't a post-to-post sort of a thing. He just didn't get a piece of it. And is it his fault that goal was scored? No. But every now and again, you need your goalie to come up huge. And the great saves that Söderblom made tonight were mostly tips that hit him.
He did have the pad save in the second period. That was really good. That probably robbed a goal.
Okay.
But I will say I do agree that how this season has started, games in which Arvid Söderblom is starting and Spencer Knight is starting feel and look different. And I think it's not crazy to say, given the way that Spencer Knight has played and the way that he's expected to play, and for the track record that we have seen of Arvid Söderblom. We've had one full season of really, really bad Arvid Söderblom, and one season of better than really, really bad Arvid Söderblom. So I'm not gonna bury the guy, but yes, in some games, especially the way this team is set up to play, you do need a goaltender to make a save above expected. And tonight, I think he made the saves that an average goalie would make, and I think that's just what he is. He's just an average goalie. So he gave you what he could, and I would love for this team to have a little bit more of cohesiveness in a game like this where Söderblom is starting, because you don't have the guy that's going to bail you out to the tune of 1.5 goals are not going up on the board that normally would. You have to play a little bit differently. You have to play a little bit tighter, and that's just the reality of it. You just know there's a difference between who's back there, and you have to play differently. And tonight, I feel like they didn't have the game that was connected enough offensively that, they created a lot of chances, but you got to bear down on a couple of those. And this is not a football show. You got to hit the net.
Right.
Like a lot of the shots that were missing the net, I feel like were, they're trying to
snipe it,
trying to get the top of the top corner. And sometimes, especially when you got a goalie playing like Joey Decord played tonight, sometimes you just gotta shoot for chaos, right?
Exactly. One of your best scoring chances came in the first when Colton Dock had 3 whacks on the puck in front.
Get bodies to the front of the net, take his eyes away, especially when he's feeling it, right? Goalies get into grooves in games like this, and you can't just try and get one shot and go for it for a corner shot, right? Sometimes it's got to be low and into the pad so that you can get a rebound. Or it's got to be directly at the net so that there's a bounce or something like that. Yeah. When things aren't going your way so perfectly, lean into the fact that hockey is a random pinball game on ice and find a bounce.
Look at the first Kraken goal. Alexiak just it's at my feet. I'm going to flip it towards the net.
Throw it on net with a screen.
Flutters in because there's guys in front.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in the third where I go, God, just throw it on net. And they did it, and it hit 2 people in front. And Decor's like, whoa, where is it?
Right.
And had to find it at his feet. It's ugly, but especially against teams like the Kraken, that's how you're going to have to score. They're not going to allow you to dipsy doodle and globetrot your way to a win. It's just not going to happen. And again, there were moments in this game where the Hawks looked great. And as I started the show, they absolutely deserved to win it. But at some point, you got to bear down and adjust and finish. And the other thing, too, is you've got the great second period. Yeah, you're outscored 2-0 in that period, but you feel good about it. You come to start the third, do or die time. You get called for too many men 2 minutes into the period. Yeah. Then it takes you 8 minutes and 36 seconds into the third to get your first shot on goal. That ain't it.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I hope that this is a lesson. And I think this is something that they can look at and say, okay, wait, let's hit the reset here. We're still a very young team.
Yeah.
We are still a team on the rise. I think everyone agrees they're on the rise. A lot of league-wide power rankings have come out this week, and the Hawks have moved up in several of them. But they've got to get the message that just because you've looked good through 12 games doesn't mean that the rebuild's over. Doesn't mean that the learning experience is over, and doesn't mean that the things that Jeff Blashill preached to you during training camp and during the beginning of the season are all of a sudden out the window because you've had a moderate level of success. Yeah. They've got to get back to the basics, and when they do, they'll have more success. We're a little bit late for the break zone. We're going to reveal our nominees for Game Pucks. On the other side, we'll hit out any Super Chats as well. Do us a favor, hit that like button. We appreciate you being with us here this late night. We'll talk to you in 2 minutes right here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And with Bet365's early payout offer, you're a winner if your football team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download the app, use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Take advantage this Thursday of their $10 safety net bet for Thursday Night Football. Place a $10 bet on first touchdown score and get a split of $365K in bonus bets if your player scores the final touchdown of the game. So here's what you need to do. Sign up, use our code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Those bonuses can be used on the spread, totals, player props, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. It must be 21 plus. If you or somebody you know has a problem with gambling, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. Offer is in-app only.
Athletes, listen up. I got a question for you. Are you serious about leveling up your game? Because if you are, the right coach can change everything. And now finding the right coach is easy with Eye on the Ball. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or competing at the top level, you can sign up totally free as an athlete at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile, search through coaches in your sport, and connect directly with the one that's right for you. From soccer to swimming, baseball to basketball, hockey to football, you name it, the coaches are out there. So what are you waiting for? Your future coach could be one click away. Jump on today at eyeontheball.net. Again, that's eyeontheball.net. Find your coach and take your game to the next level. And coaches, Eye on the Ball's got a promo going on right now. You can sign up and go 6 months, first 6 months free. Try it out and see if you can grow your coaching profile. Again, eyeontheball.net. Go check them out today.
All right, just to show you we're not going to be totally negative here on CHGO Blackhawks, presented by Bet365, we're going to give you 3 nominees for Game Pucks tonight. Mario?
Before he scored, I was thinking of giving it to André Burakovsky, and then he scored, and I said, you know what? That's my pick. André Burakovsky, he was clearly motivated tonight against his former team, and he's been playing really well these last couple of games. 3 goals in his last 3 games. André Burakovsky. All
right, he had a goal, 10 shot attempts in this game. That is a team high. Really good game for him. We also wanted to throw in a Connor Bedard assist +1. Had 4 shots on goal, 7 total shot attempts, won 71% of his faceoffs.
That's good.
And maybe you didn't notice, but Artem Levshinov was on the ice a lot today.
He had a really good game.
He had a 75% Corsi for percentage, 21 shot attempts for with him on the ice, only 7 against. That's at 5-on-5. He scoring chances or shots for were 12-7. Scoring chances for were 16-5, and high danger chances were 7-3 with Levshinov on the ice. He is getting better and better with every game. There was a play in the third where it looked like the Kraken had a breakaway. Mm-hmm. He turned on the Jets and completely stopped that thing from happening.
Yeah, that was a really good recovery play. A lot of people on the internet and a lot of people in our chat, which is technically also the internet,
it's true,
saying that Levshinov needs to be getting more time than Rinzel. I feel that too. I feel like I'm open to the idea that you can have a little bit of a responsibility and assignment change. Maybe Levshinov goes up to power play 1, Rinzel goes down to 2, or you completely switch them up in the lineup. You don't say Vlasic Rinzel, you say Vlasic Levshinov, and you throw Rinzel into more of the rotation. I'm fine with that. I think you, with Jeff Blashill stating that there's privilege in playing the amount of time you do and playing on power play or penalty kill, whatever. Give it to the guys that are deserving of it. And I think Levshinov, from game one to now, is a different player.
Oh, 100%.
And I think
he looks confident too.
He's looking confident because I think he's just every game. I feel like he learns just a little bit more of what works at the NHL level. And tonight was another example of like he's starting to get it, and he's starting to put it into practice, and it's becoming more natural at this level for him. And I think that's a big bright spot.
Now, I'm not disagreeing with the idea that Levshinov should maybe move to power play 1, but I think the Sam Rinzel panic is a little overblown. He did not have a great day, obviously not a great moment in this game, but played basically 20 minutes, had 3 shots on goal, 8 shot attempts, 2 hits, a block shot. And there were some dazzling offensive moments from him too.
Yeah.
So the idea that he needs time in Rockford, absolutely not.
I'm not saying that.
There's some people in the chat are saying it. He's going to be fine. Remember, he's young, he's inexperienced. There's going to be ups and downs, but obviously Jeff Blashill trusts him very much. He had 5:16 in power play time today and moved the puck pretty well. The Hawks had a lot of zone time on the power play today. A lot of that was they were better at the faceoff dot. Seattle's one of the worst teams in the league at faceoffs, and it showed. The Hawks 60-40'd them today. But
again, another just so many freaking metrics and stats and analytics that favor the Hawks tonight, except goals.
Yeah. For my big complaint with Rinzel, aside from the third goal, was hit the net, man. Put the puck on net. Stop overthinking it. Duncan Keith used to try to slap ass all the time, and it drove me crazy. Duncan Keith was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. Sam Rinzel, puck on net, please.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my major complaint.
Yeah, and I'm not saying ship him to Rockford. And it's not even so much like I think Rinzel has been bad. I just think there's a moment. I think this is a moment in the season when you can say, okay, let's pull things back. You gave him a lot right out of the gate, right, Rinzel?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's take a step back. You still can be on the power play. You'll just be on the second one. You're still going to get 18 minutes a night or whatever. It just won't be. You won't be first over the boards in most situations. It's more, for me, it's more of a nod to how Levshinov has played than it is a knock against Rinzel. I'm more or less looking at it as, let's reward Levshinov. Let's give him a little bit more opportunity, and you can also use it as a teaching and growing moment for Rinzel to be like, okay, we've been giving you a lot. Let's take a little bit back, see how you handle that, so that it's going to sound like Jeff Fisher. Sometimes you have to go backwards before you can go forwards.
Yeah.
Right. With Rinzel, I feel like they slam the gas right out of the gate, pull it back a little bit, see how he responds, and then move forward. And you can do that while having a guy in Levshinov that seems ready to take a little bit more onto his plate.
And you can always readjust as it goes along, right? Like nothing is definitive.
Lines and pairs and all that. It's all fluid.
Of course, but if right now, and that's, I mean, it's Jeff Blashill's entire concept for playing 11 and 7 is, I've got a lot of young defensemen. I've got to play the guys that are playing well, and if a guy's having a bad night, I got to dial it back a little bit. That can also go game to game, and dial it up in turn, right? So if a guy's playing great, put him out there more.
Right.
So do that with Levshinov. He has earned it. I think he's been a Game Puck nominee for at least 2 games in a row, maybe 3.
Couple.
He is taking that step. And he is the higher prospect than Sam Rinzel. So let it happen. Let it happen. It's fine. And if you get halfway through the game and say, ooh, wow, Levshinov on power play 1, not working. Okay. Flip it back. It's no big deal. None of this is permanent. So I think you reward the kid. You give Rinzel a little bit of a breather to regather things. And again, it's pretty cool that we're having this conversation in a game where, by all measures, the Hawks should have won. Right? And that we've gotten to this point in the Blackhawks rebuild where we are breaking down games again and breaking down the minutia
Yeah.
of wins and losses
There's more
instead of like,
details that
well, they
matter.
tried.
Yeah.
Valiant effort. What are you going to do? Rebuild.
Right.
We're finally at this point. So that to me is a silver lining of this game, that you and I are genuinely like, oh my God, that was freaking annoying, and I want to talk about it, and I want to get pissed off about it.
Right.
So it's good that we're in that place again.
Yeah.
All right, so those are your nominees for Game Pucks.
And I do want to, and I do want to say, like, there's a little bit of like in our chat talking about like, oh, if you move Levshinov, you're taking him away from Kaiser. He hasn't been stapled to Wyatt Kaiser the last couple of games.
Also, make that the first pair. I don't care.
Sure, you can do that.
Wyatt Kaiser is the best defenseman on his team.
I'm not.
Period.
I'm not
with a T.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to giving him more ice time. That's fine. If you're looking at it and in a lineup sense of like, okay, Vlasic Rinzel is the top pair. Vlasic and Levshinov were on the ice together a bunch tonight. You had with the 7 defenseman rotation, you have every guy playing with everybody else. Like you're not necessarily, held to first pair, second pair, third pair, because you have guys rotating. So it's not that Levshinov and Kaiser are the only two out there when they're out there.
Right.
Like they rotate. Grzelcyk was with Levshinov. Rinzel was
Also
with
playing
Kaiser.
well.
Like it's it rotates through. So I'm not worried about the aspect of like having them not paired together. And I think that's fine because you're starting to see Levshinov not need a quote unquote babysitter. Like
Right.
He's starting to kind of be able to be out there with anybody and still be effective and be comfortable. So that's what you want to see. You want to see that kind of growth, so you don't need to be like so held on to your pairs and your lines and be like, no, this has to, like, it's fluid. It rotates.
Yep.
Like they'll be able to play with each other and if they're good enough, be effective.
All right, let's get to some super chats here before we got to hit the brakes one more time. Connor Del Rio says Nazar is awesome, tenactic, and a hound, but is it fair to say his playmaking, puck handling leave a lot to be desired? He isn't really a skilled player. No, that is not fair to say. I
think he had it
I
off.
love you, Connor Del Rio, but that is a bad take.
I think he had an off night.
Yes.
I don't think the usual for Frank Nazar is a night like this.
Connor with another $2, by the way, says Bedard 10-4 in face-off, 71%. He's getting better. Yes, he is.
Great.
Absolutely. Zats, $3, says the 11-7 lineup sucks. Send Grzelcyk to the minors. Okay. Thanks for the $2. The Italian Ice sends $2. We appreciate that.
Is there
wondering if there's a corresponding?
Yeah, I'm sure there was probably a chat. The Italian Ice.
Yes.
Oh, there's a couple of them.
There we go. Let's just take the first one because it's funny. Can we give the Hawks blue line a shooter-tutor high and wide all game long?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big frustration about this game. Is hit the effing net.
It's a 4x6. Like,
yeah.
come on. I hit the net a couple times last night in my rec league game. It's not that hard, guys.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Matt James, $2. I think it's euros, right? Pounds. All right. Says, "Woof, tough watch. A real lesson in attitude there." I didn't have a big problem with the effort or attitude. I just think that was the approach wasn't totally sound.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think attitude was really a problem. I wouldn't say. I think it's just, capitalizing on the moment. Yeah, that power play that they had, I think it was in the second period, where they basically had like a minute and 50 seconds of just possession, and they were moving the puck, but like every time they shot, it was wide or it was into Bertuzzi's shins. Like it was just like really frustrating that you couldn't find one to even just get to Decord. Frustrating. So the execution more than the attitude, I'd say.
We had 2 more we can get to quickly here before the break zone. Brandon Sikora says, massive hot take. I think Sam Rinzel needs time in the AHL. Bring Korchinski up to see what he can do. There's NHL experience on that Hogs blue line. Just curious what you both have to say. I am not there yet, no.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll get there at all, actually.
I'm not sending Sam Rinzel down at this moment in time. But to your point, Kevin Korchinski has been off to a really good start, which is what you want to see. Like you want those guys, just like Oliver Moore did tonight, work their way up into the NHL. Like, have the Blackhawks make room for them. And right now they're playing all 7 of their defensemen, so they're seeing tape on all 7 defensemen. So as time goes on, you'll get a sense of where guys are at, and if there's any evidence that someone really can't hang in the NHL, which I don't really think there is from anybody in the defensive group right now, at least.
No.
Then yeah, I think you're comfortable saying Korchinski's probably the first guy up, which
Cool.
I'm excited.
I'm down. Yeah,
if and
sure.
when he gets back up to the NHL, I'm excited to see what kind of player he will be.
All right, one more real quick. $2 from Mike says, does tonight prove Jeff Blashill's 11-7 setup isn't working? No, I don't think that Sam Lafferty would have made the difference in this game. That was the one guy scratched.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's odd that we're seeing the 11-7 so much that I'm just not used to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still say for the 13 games this season so far, I'm fine playing all 7 defensemen over needing the 12th forward.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
All right, well, lost in all this first half hour. We've not talked about Oliver Moore yet, so let's do that next. Hit that like button. Back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. Winter will be here before you know it. Is your home's heating up for the challenge? You better call Four Seasons and find out. At Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays, a.k.a. when things go wrong.
Of course.
You can save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Furnaces start at $39 a month, and furnace AC combos from $57 a month. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric has been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Again, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
Chicago Sports Network is the official TV and streaming home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, broadcasting over 300 live games per year. CHSN offers all access plans starting at $29.99 a month, and that gives you access to all the games and programming on their network. And they have individual team plans for $19.99 a month that gives you access to the games of the team you select, like the Blackhawks or the Bulls or the White Sox. You can sign up to watch CHSN at chsn.com, or you can watch via the CHSN app, which can be downloaded on Apple and Android devices, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and Samsung TV. CHSN is also available on Xfinity, DirecTV, DirecTV Stream, and Fubo. Visit chsn.com for more details. The best way to watch all of your favorite teams, or at least some of them, this season.
No loss is bad enough where we don't dance in the frat house. Our featured player on the frat house on Madison tonight is Oliver Moore, making his season debut. Was held off. The score sheet was a -2, 16:29 of ice time, but that certainly does not tell the story. Oliver Moore was fast as hell, generating scoring chances with his speed, had 3 shots on goal, 2 more missed shots, a hit and a block shot, and was 50% from the dot on 2 faceoffs. Dynamic, no time shorthanded, no time on the power play, still played 16:02 of this game. Jeff Blashill loved what he was seeing from Oliver Moore, and it showed.
Yeah, I mean, to not have any special teams time and you're clocking 16 minutes, like that's pretty significant. He was very noticeable tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, the -2. All right. I'm not going to get into plus minus. I've never been one to get into plus minus if you've watched this show for the last 2-3 seasons. But I think it was evident the speed is his big attribute, and getting to the net, I think, is an underrated aspect of his game, and that's what speed can do. You can get to places faster than other guys. And I think, a lot of the talk around a number of the Blackhawks forwards in the prospect system as they've been coming up is, but they don't have any size. Oliver Moore is 6 foot, 190 pounds. Like, that's not small. Like, he's big enough to, survive in the NHL and be able to get around the net and create some chances. Like, he was able to do that early on in the game.
Second period, driving down the right wing boards.
Yeah,
used his speed and drove in.
Took a puck on his own. Didn't look to make a pass or anything. Just had kind of the instinct of get to the net and see what happens. Like, I like seeing that out of the young guys. Don't feel like you, because you're 20 or 21 or whatever, that someone older than you needs to do something with the puck. If you have the puck, you have a chance to do something yourself. Like, have that confidence. Feel like you can. You're in the NHL for a reason. Go prove it.
100%. I really like the way he played. It's one thing to be fast. We have seen guys who are just fast.
Mm-hmm.
Athanasiou, Stallberg, it goes on and on. But what he has added, we saw it in the preseason, we saw it in Rockford, is he's starting to finish these chances. He set up Ryan Donato point blank, and Donato just whiffed on the one-timer. It went right through Donato's legs and rolled to the blue line. Beautiful setup.
Yeah.
He just has a knack for making things happen, and speed's a big part of that. But I think what separates more from the other two I mentioned, Athanasiou and Stallberg, is not only the willingness to go play the physical game and get into corners and win pucks, but it almost looks like he revels in it. Mm-hmm. Like, he engages those things. Like, he likes those things. Like, back in the day, Walter Payton would run into you with the forearm just because he liked the contact, right? Oliver Moore's got that, I'm going to go in there and take this from you mindset. And, okay, fine. He's 6 feet tall. He's under 200 pounds. It doesn't matter. He's not playing that way.
Right.
And, Frank Nazar doesn't play that way despite his size. I thought he was great. There's nothing I saw from me that says, oh, well, back to Rockford you go. Oliver Moore, he was definitely making things happen, and I'm excited to see what the next little stretch here for him is going to be.
Yeah, I have to imagine he'll be in the lineup for the next few games. It's with the fact that they called him up and made it corresponding with Dickinson going to IR, who's week to week, and it wasn't just a call up. They also sent Landon Slager down. That's a very clear, here is your roster spot. Now you have the opportunity to earn it. It's first look of him in the NHL this year with that opportunity. He passed. That's a passing performance. So I'd imagine he's going to be around for the rest of the road trip. And you have some games coming up here. You got Vancouver next, and then Calgary, and then Detroit. Again, some teams that you should be in the games with.
Yeah.
You had the game against Vancouver earlier this year. You probably should have won that game.
Yep.
Calgary hasn't been off.
Kind of did win that game, but we've been through that.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah. Calgary has not been off to a good start. Like, these are, again, opportunities where you feel like points are there for the Hawks, and it's games like this that Oliver Moore talked about, like, being able to be in games that kind of felt like they mattered at the end of last season. Well, these games should feel like they matter now because, we're approaching American Thanksgiving, and the stat of if you're within a certain point range of the playoffs by American Thanksgiving, you're probably going to be in that same spot when you get to the end of the season, or in that same range, or in the playoff chase. So these games matter, these opportunities matter. And I think these young guys are starting to grasp that concept. So if Moore keeps playing like this, I don't see a reason to take him out of the lineup, honestly.
Oh, right now the Hawks are 5-5-3. They are in the third. Well, they're Dallas and Edmonton have the wild card spots with 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
LA and Vancouver have 14 points, and then the Hawks are 13.
So they're 2 points back. Of
2 points back of the final
spot.
wild card spot. Edmonton has played one more game. So has Vancouver. The Hawks and LA have both played 13. So that's where they're at in the conversation. So you would think that game against Vancouver is big. Again, It's November, sure, but if you feel like that's where you're going to be, if you feel like this is where the Hawks are going to hover for a lot of the year, taking 2 points in Vancouver would be huge in that regard. Mm-hmm. And then you want to beat up on Calgary, who is 3-9-2 this year with a -17 goal differential.
Yeah.
Win that game.
This
is when you start to find out, like, are they different?
Yeah, right.
Right? Because I saw some comments when the show started, like, well, back to the tank and they're bad again, and it was all smoke and mirrors to start. It's not. Because at no point over the last couple of years did you see games where the Hawks would outplay anybody almost ever.
Yeah.
Even the games they won, they just happened to win for the most part. There's a few outliers here and there.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of, like, wire to wire. They were the better team.
Yes.
Yeah.
But most of the games this season, the Hawks have either been better or even with their opponent. That is indication of something different. Now, again, as I started to show with, you got to start converting some of these good efforts and turn moral victories into actual victories.
Yeah.
And Calgary, Vancouver, even Detroit, these are the games you want to start doing that with. Because Detroit got off to a really good start. Where are they at right now?
They're still
7-3-0 in their last 10.
Yeah, they're
9-4-0.
They're still off to
it's a good team.
It's a good start for that team, for sure. And they haven't had Patrick Kane for a number of games, so they're performing without him, which is encouraging for them that you don't have that guy in the lineup to be helping you, but you're still performing pretty well. But this team, I feel like, again, I try to caution myself to not get ahead of myself and talk about playoffs too much with this team, because the expectation is not for them to be in the playoffs. If they're even in the chase in March and April, that's a success for this season.
Yeah.
But if we get to March and April and we're standings watching and every game is down to, every point matters, 2 points in November count the same as 2 points in April. You have it in every sport where there's, teams that go down to the wire for playoff chases. In baseball, wins in April mean the same as wins in September. Like, they all count the same. So, it's early in the season, but these games matter. And I want this team to have that urgency. And because, if you get to March and you're 10 points back of the wild card or whatever, and it's just, seems impossible of a mountain to climb to get back to the playoff picture or whatever, you still want them to have that urgency, because that is how you learn the league. For this young team, like, you can't take nights off. You can't say that, it's, just going through the motions, because then you're going to get your head caved in.
Yeah.
Like, you have to show up every single game and have the urgency and have the desire to earn 2 points each night. So I'm not saying that this team is taking nights off or anything like that, but tonight is one of those games where it just kind of feels like, okay, well, let's play with that urgency. Let's have the urgency from the moment the puck drops, and every opportunity you have to try and take advantage of. Each power play is a huge chance for you to take a hold of the game. Don't try and be over complicated with trying to set up the perfect play. Like, sometimes the best play is just get it on net and see what the next thing happens. Don't try and predict the next 3 moves and go tic-tac-toe and make it a highlight reel. Like, just sometimes it's just fire the puck on net and have guys be ready for rebounds. Like, a simple, urgent game can be really successful.
I imagine that will be the very message from Jeff Blashill when they start watching the film on this game. A couple comments from Reven said, like, we had predicted they're going to go 500 on this trip. They need to get that win against Vancouver to make that happen, because there's a good chance they're going to get pumped by the Red Wings like they did by the Jets. And I just want to remind people that Jets game, the final score was 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks had the advantage in every category in that game.
Yep.
Like they really did. Like they had the shot attempts advantage, they had the expected goals advantage, they had the high danger chance advantage. Like all the things that you look at, they were right there with the Jets despite the final score. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Right. Is it's not the same as it was, but you can't have none of that stuff means anything if you're not converting them into wins. So yes, go beat Vancouver. I'm sure they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder from that one because they feel like they were robbed of a win. I think we all kind of agree about that Bertuzzi goal that was called for goaltender interference, which is maybe like a top 5 absurd sports call I've seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up losing that game. And you got to beat the hell out of Calgary. Like, go whoop their ass. Yeah. Don't give them life.
Yeah, if ever there was a game that I think this team needs to have a floodgates opening, it would be that Calgary game. Honestly, I hope it's every game.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, this game felt like just score and you'll start scoring more.
Right. Well, and they scored in that third period, and you're like, all right, here's some momentum. Like it's finally built up to this.
Yeah.
And then they allow that third goal, and it was just like the air was out of the team at that point.
Well, we have not received any of the post-game video yet, but we are seeing some quotes coming out from Jeff Blashill. So I guess instead of holding these quotes until
final minute,
maybe we don't get it. We should probably talk about it here. Ben Pope has a quote from Jeff Blashill on Frank Nazar. He says, quote, "There's a lot of burden on his shoulders for a guy that hasn't played a lot. For us to expect him to be on top of his game every single night is probably not realistic. It's the same with a lot of our guys. There's going to be ups and downs. We've just got to collectively make sure we have more ups than downs. I thought tonight it was too spread throughout the team. We didn't have enough guys who had their A game." And then Ben Pope adds that he later said that he can't think of a game where Bedard, for one, didn't have his A game. So he singled out Bedard as the one guy, basically, who's had his A game every game, which is high praise. Like, that's...
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. I feel like Bedard this season, I don't think there's a game where I've come away and was thought like, man, that was all really bad effort. Like, I think he's really been noticeable, been effective, and I mean has been driving this team pretty much every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again tonight, you rattled off his stats earlier. Like the Burakovsky goal is set up by Bedard having a different version of himself in that moment where he chips the puck in, hustles back for it, fights off a check along the boards, gets the puck, gets it to Burakovsky.
Perfect, on the tape,
a perfect pass, and Burakovsky's able to bury it. Like the Connor Bedard of the last 2 seasons probably either A, doesn't make that play at all.
Yeah.
Like doesn't choose to chip it, chase, fight for it, and get it back. Might say like, oh, let me try and stick handle through these defensemen, or might not have the ability to dump it in and go and get it because he doesn't have the foot speed or the strength to fight through that battle. But this version of Connor Bedard made that play.
Yeah.
And had the sense to chip it in, had the strength and speed to win the battle, and he's got the skill to make that kind of play. So I mean that's evident. Another stack it up.
Yep.
Piece of evidence that this is a different version of Connor Bedard this season.
6 goals and 10 assists in 13 games. That is a 101-point pace.
It's pretty good
for Connor Bedard. So, yes, I would say that he has had his A game most games. Also a quote here from André Burakovsky on the Blackhawks power play. Burakovsky says, "I think the power play is working. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. They did a really good job of blocking shots. We got a lot of looks." I agree with that. I think the power play has looked good. They have had a lot of zone possession, puck movement. We haven't seen a lot of retrieving the puck, slingshot power play fails, retrieve the puck again. No, they've been in the zone a lot on the power play lately. There just haven't been today, not converting. But if the power play looks like it looked tonight, most nights they're going to have success. And I think, again, going to the game film, the message will be simplify this, okay? You don't always need the second or third pass there. Get the puck to your line mate while they're in space. If you've got the puck in space, throw it at the net. Don't wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. It's just you got to get pucks on net and get rebounds to score in this league. But I think based on the way Jeff Blashill's message has been received through 13 games overall, I think it's safe to assume that message will be received on the individual things as well. Yeah. And as Burakovsky said, they blocked a lot of shots. Kraken credited with 18 block shots in this game.
On the power play specifically, Blackhawks had 14 shot attempts. They had 5 when it comes to Fenwick, which is shots towards the net that go unblocked. So 9 shot attempts were blocked, just outright.
That's crazy.
And only 4 shots on net out of 14 shot attempts. So yeah, Kraken were doing a good job of stifling a lot of those chances. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you sum this game up. It is a very frustrating, aggravating thing to watch, and I guess you got to give some credit to the Kraken, who knew, like, okay, this is a fast team.
They play a frustrating to watch style of hockey.
They played a great road game at home.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, but I mean, even that's a lesson for the Hawks too. Is look, like sometimes you just have to do the little things to win, and it might not be pretty, and it might not be the most fun thing in the world, but to get 2 points, this is what you have to do. And the Kraken approached this as, all right, this team's gonna have the puck a lot. They're fast. We need to get in shooting lanes. We got to block shots. We got to sacrifice the body to give ourselves a chance to win. Yeah, they did it, and they got the result.
Some more quotes coming in here from Ben Pope. From André Burakovsky says the last couple of games we've come out a little slow trying to see how they're playing. I think we're way too good of a team to do that. We need to take command and set the tone ourselves. Coach Jeff Blashill says when both teams are clogging that up, that being the neutral zone, it makes it hard. Continued, games are hard, man. It's not going to be a lot of free-flowing hockey. You've got to really earn your offense. Sometimes you need some ugly ones, and we just didn't get quite enough pucks through.
That's it. Mm-hmm. What stands out to me there, though, is you have a 2-time Cup champion telling this team that they're good. We're way too good to do this.
I like hearing that.
A veteran like that can say, hey, you know what? As a young team, we got to take this as a lesson and learn from it and grow from it. The sort of stuff that Pat Maroon was saying last year, the sort of stuff that Alec Martinez was saying, that Nick Foligno has said. But now you've got a guy with trophies in the case saying, hey,
two of them.
We're good. Believe it. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go out and dictate this. Again, it took 4.5 minutes. No, almost 5 minutes. It was 4:55 before the Hawks got their first shot on goal. Yeah, because they were doing a bit of the feeling out thing, and I was now it was it's like, is the ice bad? Like, what is the deal?
Yeah,
why can't anything get moving here? But like, yeah, start the engines right away. Yeah. There's no reason to, and I think part of that is being young, because I think a lot of these guys do have a little bit of PTSD from the last couple of seasons, where it's like, we're getting caved in, and we're scared to get caved in, so we're going to do things to not get caved in. Man, no. Start caving people in.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it several times from them this year. They're capable of it. They just have to believe in it themselves. And I think the more you can get guys like Burakovsky, who are here, he's here short term, one in Washington, one in Colorado, a winner, says, look, knock this off. Like, we deserve to be here. So play like it.
They've had some games already this season where you saw that mentality coming through. So it's just more of like more repetitions of playing with that mindset is going to ingrain it into their heads that like, yeah, we are a good team. There's proof there's proof to it. You've seen a little bit of it already. Just it's I know it's easier said than done, but just keep tapping into that belief. We've seen that in a couple of games this year where it's just like some games they have willed themselves to just say like, no, like we have it. We just got to keep grinding at it, and you're gonna find it. And that tonight was another one of those games where it's just like believe in yourself that you have the talent to make things happen. And I think some of these guys are just like you said, like they've kind of got to kind of break the shell of what the last season or 2 seasons has been of Blackhawks hockey and find that next step, find that new version of themselves. And some guys have done it. Some guys it'll still take some time.
All right, we have our winner of the game puck, and from first place to last place was divided by 3 percentage points.
Ooh, an even night.
Artem Levshinov with 32% of the vote, Connor Bedard with 33% of the vote, but André Burakovsky wins the game puck with 35% of the vote.
It's a majority.
It's really rare that they're that close.
Yeah, and I think 3 solid nominations, I would say.
Yeah,
from this game. So, I mean, look, like I'm glad. I'll say this as a positive. I'm glad that more often than not we have at least 2 or 3 good performances per game that we can point to and say, yeah, this guy probably deserves it. Or he's, there's at least a few guys that you're just like, yeah, good performances moving forward, if not more than that. So I think that that's a big positive and a big difference from last season, where there were some nights where we would do, 4th star and it'd be like, ugh, geez, well, who had the most shot attempts? Okay, you get it. Like, I'm glad that I'm glad that early on
who was the least bad.
Yeah, I'm glad that early on we have a couple options each night.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. All right, well, no, I don't think the Hawks are doing this on purpose. By the way, they're waiting. You know what, Hawks? Here's the deal. If you want to keep using us on your every shift videos, start sending the post game video. Before our post game's over. That's a fair exchange, I think.
I would say so.
I think that's very fair. I think it's very fair. We will be back tomorrow at 2:30.
We can take this opportunity
Yeah.
to, even though it's a loss, we are still on the rise.
Yes.
And we should get
yes, the new merch.
the new face-off collection.
The biannual new merch.
Yeah.
The CHGO face-off collection
Buy
is here.
it.
Get it.
Get it.
If you buy it, they'll make more of it. See how that
Yeah.
works? Now, I know the Bears won a game this week, so 17 Bear shirts are in production as we speak.
But maybe a Frank
one for
Nazar,
each first down.
Maybe
Yes.
a Frank Nazar shirt is in the works.
I
Who
hope so.
knows?
Maybe.
I hope so, too.
Is the Tremaine Edmonds interception shirt out yet? I don't know. I'm waiting on that one. I just want a shirt of Sarah screaming Michigan, University of Michigan, over and over again. Like a cartoon.
That'll
of
be
you
a
doing
limited
that.
There's a
release.
reason why I'm behind the camera, and honestly, I truly did forget we were recording, and I was kind of just watching the game.
I loved it.
That's the
And
beauty
then-
of the watch along.
Right, and then I'm just like, oh, we're being recorded, and we're going to clip this too.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I might have said it wrong. Is biannual twice a year, or is biannual every other year?
Biannual meaning. Biannual, occurring twice a year.
Oh, so it's not
There you
that.
go. Yeah. Yeah, no, twice a year.
Well, let's call it annual.
Semi-annual means occurring twice a year.
See, this is all very confusing. And you know what? It's too late for this nonsense. So here's what we're going to do.
They're the same things, I guess.
We're going to appeal to you to buy that shirt.
Yeah, just buy it.
Store.allcitynetwork.com. There's 2. Buy them both. Buy one of them. Or become a diehard. Pick one of those for free. Then use your 20% discount to save on the other one. That's how it works. allchgo.com/join is the way to become a diehard. And when you're a diehard, you also get access to our members-only Discord. And with that, you get pretty much, we don't really do mailbag questions on Twitter anymore because we have so many diehards now.
Yeah.
And I think tomorrow we're going to do some mailbag.
Yes.
So get those questions in.
We have a lot of mailbag questions
In the queue?
in the queue. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. We got a lot of mailbag questions. Send some more in through the Discord. become a diehard and send your question in, and we'll get to it eventually.
Yes. Do that. All right. We're going to wrap things up. We are going to go to bed. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. We will talk to you tomorrow afternoon, actually today afternoon, at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast, presented by our friends at Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.